What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is doing well. Today's video, got the LMT out on the bench, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this rig. First up, just want to let you guys know, I'm blown away by the truck. First monster truck owner, so all of my opinions here and thoughts are coming from a first-time monster truck buyer. I never drove an SMT, so all of my monster trucking has been done on this truck, and it actually just exceeded my expectations. So first up, the size of it. As soon as you get it out of the box, you just realize how big it is. And then you start to kind of get into the truck and you realize how nice it's set up and the feel of it. Okay, so just because something feels good doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good, right? So you know, I was looking over everything and just getting ready to go out, and the very first trigger pull was just an experience. I really enjoyed it, and ever since then I've been really starting to put the truck through its paces, and it's just been performing. So I will talk about what I like, what I don't like, and just some concerns on things that I have, and let you just know what I think. So let's just get into this. First up, I want to address the radio. So for me, it's not a giant problem because, right, I'm in the hobby. But if you were someone who's just getting this truck as like your first truck, or you needed to use the radio, it's actually not that bad, which is nice because their other trucks came with that STX like 2 radio, and it was like too plasticky, and it felt like crap. And apparently people were having issues with lag and stuff with it. I personally never had that issue on my Outcast 4S, so I can't really speak to that, but I was really happy to see that they got away from that radio, and they're including this one here. This is the DX3. Comes with the foam wheel, feels good in the hand. It's set up really good with all your functions right here. You can use smart technology if you are running Spectrum batteries, if you're into that sort of thing. So it is nice that they at least gave you a halfway decent radio, because this truck does come in with a price tag, and you know, if they give you that crappy radio, that'd just be a no-go. So right off the bat, I'm glad they give you this radio, so that is positive right there. Okay, so moving on to the beast itself. One of the things I like the most about it is this right here. The cage. It tilts up very nicely, and you can get to everything that you need underneath the truck if you do need to do any maintenance. So the design is a twin plate vertical plate chassis, they kind of call it. So it's just two, you know, vertical plates, and everything bolts onto that. Reminds me of my old Savage. I had an HPI Savage. I used to do nitro back in the day when I first was in the hobby way back when. So I've actually kind of know what that is. So it's interesting, but it works for a monster truck. It's not like that plastic cage setup, so, you know, it adds some weight to the truck, and they still were able to make it look very scale, which is nice. And one of the ways they did that at first, I actually didn't think so, but if you look at these axles, they do look a lot like what you'd see on a real monster truck. So it is nice that they designed them to look like something that you would really see on a truck. And then the way they were able to kind of design everything else, you don't really notice that vertical plate in there. Now in the back, they do have that wheelie bar attached, which in all of my experience, it has been performing really well, and it's just been holding up to the abuse. A lot of times, you know, they give you crappy wheelie bars and they seem to break off, but this one's been holding up nice, and I can't complain about it. Another thing in the back, you got the big beefy sway bar. That's been holding up. Can't complain there, so that's nice. You got the same thing in the front. You got the sway bar set up. The only thing I have done is I had these limiting straps lying around, so I added those. I forget if they're 100 or 105. I could easily find out. I just have to pop them off, but I think they're doing their job. The shocks are almost all the way to the top, so I don't think it's hindering my performance or anything like that. I do need to get another set for the back because you definitely will be topping the shock out and pulling that piston down a lot if you don't add straps. But, you know, it's not a major issue. All right, so moving back to underneath the body, the electronics have been holding up. They've been good. I went ahead, I just put my own connector on there. I wish you could use like a program card and access the functions a little bit better. I don't really like the beeps. I know some people, they have no problems, but as you start to get into certain sequences and you have to let it beep so many times, you kind of lose track. If it was just like a couple of beeps, it'd be okay. But like when you have to listen for 4 beeps, you almost like the tones, the way they sound, you're almost unsure what you heard. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird, and it flashes, and you're like, did it flash? And you're looking at the lights, and I don't know. Me personally, I just don't really like that. I wish they included some sort of better way or an app or something you could just pull up on your phone. I did order that program card they offer just because from the factory, this comes with a, to me, unsafe setting on your LiPo cutoff. And that was kind of what I was concerned about. And I'm not sure exactly if I have it set on what I want it to be at or one above, because it seems like I'm not getting a lot of runtime out of the packs. So that is something you might want to do to yours if you're concerned about saving your packs, because I don't want to drain them down too much. I don't know why they had it set like that, but I think with their smart batteries, they have it set for that. But for regular LiPos, you kind of want to play it safe, so you might want to go ahead and change that setting. But the motor has good power. I went up 1 tooth on the pinion to a 15-tooth pinion. On 3S, it is very powerful. I mean, 2S is really all you need, but if you want to kind of try to rip wheelies and you're freestyling, 3S is definitely a lot of fun. And I just recommend running on 3S if you're not limited when you're racing or anything like that. If you're just out trying to have fun, just go right on to 3S. But it has its advantages with that fixed pinion setup. It has the holes already there. You can only go up to a 16. But honestly, like, if you want your truck to last, you know, you don't need to go crazy. People, you know, they like to push the limits, and I get why people like to do that. But this truck, the way it is designed, if you just run it on 3S and don't try to go crazy, it seems pretty durable. We'll touch on maybe what I think is the weakest part in a little bit. But so far, the durability of the setup has been pretty good. It only has one little drawback. Before we close the hood, they do not include a nice long wire for your lights, which kind of sucks. So I went ahead and I added some servo extensions, so that way I can just open and close this. I don't have to unplug that every time. I don't know why they didn't just have a far enough lead or something like that. That's kind of weird, but that would kind of be maybe the only negative part about the body. But the cage, the way it bolts up, you got 4 screws in the top and 2 on each side, and then 2 up on the hood, so you can really adapt like any body to that cage if you wanted, minus if you get the Gravedigger, it's going to be green, but you can always dye your plastics if you really wanted to. All right, so kind of went over all the positives. Like I said, everything has been really good. I've really been enjoying the truck. It's a lot of fun. Now, there's only a few things that I dislike about the rig, and that would be the servo. Now, the servo is not the worst servo. It is this fact that they decided to go with a 23-tooth servo spline on there, and the servo saver is for that, and it limits your options when you want to upgrade. And I think they kind of did that so that way you buy their servo. I don't know, so things, you know, work, because right now no one really has anything good. I've seen a few people test some other servo savers, and they're just not really strong enough. So yeah, I don't really know, but I don't know why they decided to do that. That's kind of a bummer. So the other problem is the axle housings are a little weak. I have a few chips in mine, nothing crazy. I do have some braces on order. I don't know where they are. They haven't shown up yet, but hopefully those add some strength. They did come out with a redesigned, stronger housing. I'm not sure if the part number is different than the number that was already existing, and they're just going to move these into some sort of new production, and that part number is just going to be taken over by that. So it's nice to see that maybe they are addressing that and have some beefier designs. So hopefully when those come out, I can put my braces on those and they'll be really good. But right now you cannot find the axles or the next thing we're going to talk about in stock anywhere, which is kind of a problem. The reason it's not in stock is because it's such a widespread problem, right? People are bashing up their axles really good, which a lot of that might be their own fault, you know, landing on stuff they shouldn't be landing on, taking it to like the skate park. I mean, I took mine to the skate park, but I tried to go light. It's not a skate park ripper machine. It'll do some of the stuff. You'll actually be surprised how high it can go, but it's definitely not really designed, you know, to be launching it like that. So that'll bring us to the front of the truck, and that's going to bring you to this kingpin design, which there's a set screw in there, and it looks like they stripped them out from the factory, so the screws back out and you'll lose these. I actually found this one on my bench and was like, oh crap, and I checked and I'm missing one. And again, you cannot find these in stock because so many people are losing these. I have a fix for it. I'm going to make a video when that comes out, but those couple of things, the axles, not so much, right? If you drive it how it's intended and you don't have any crazy mishaps, you're not going to just break the axle. These, it doesn't matter if you're just kind of light bashing or going, you know, hard, those screws are going to back out. So that, to me, that is a major issue. As the axles, okay, you know, if you're jumping off of something, you know, user error, that's on you. But this, it doesn't really matter. So I highly recommend that you check the two screws that are in your blocks here and make sure that they're tight and that you're not going to lose your kingpin. A quick fix to that is some shoe glue if you want to kind of hold them in there. I don't really want to add shoe glue to a $600 RC truck, so I did go ahead, I ordered some new ones, and I'm going to make a video on that like I said. So that would kind of be the only negative aspect of the design so far on this truck. Well, all right, guys, we kind of went over the negatives, the positives, kind of let you know what I think about the truck overall. Like I said, it's my first monster truck. I've been really impressed by it. I've been having a blast. If you're a follower of my channel, you'll know I built all those ramps. It was a decent amount of time and money to get all those ramps, but that really is what this truck is intended to do. If you have Monster Jam style ramps and stuff, it is a blast to drive, trying to get wheelies, slap wheelies, and getting those nice airs and the backflips. You know, it is really good for that kind of driving, and it opened my eyes up and like this whole segment of monster trucks. I mean, I haven't even dipped into racing. I like to have two, one to race and one for freestyle. That would be awesome. I wish that there, you know, was a lot more competitions in my area for something like that, but you know, it is what it is. But just the truck is great if you're going to do that sort of stuff. If you want a skate park basher, you know, this isn't the truck for you. But if you're into the monster trucks and what they offer, like I said, I never drove an SMT, but this thing has just blown me away. I've been more than tickled by it, and I'm actually really happy I got it. I got it for fun and to just kind of have it on the channel, and I'm just so impressed. I'm so happy that I have it now, and I'm just addicted. I'm going to get this pin fixed up and just keep driving this thing and mod it as I go, and we'll see where it can go. So my final thoughts, I'm just going to give it a 10 out of 10. For its segment and what it is, I've just been blown away. I can't recommend it enough. If you're looking to have some fun, if you're looking to try something other than your normal bashing style, having one of these durable monster trucks that you can do stunts with is a lot of fun, and I highly recommend it. Well, all right, guys, that is going to wrap it up on my final thoughts on the Losi Lmt. Really appreciate all you guys watching. Don't forget, I got the scale photo contest going on. You got a few days to enter that before the end of the month. Email me your best scale photo to rcpropaganda@yahoo.com. And also don't forget, when we hit 4,000 subscribers, we're doing a DX5 giveaway. So let's get those subs up. Leave me a like down below, leave a comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.